Antenna TV, the original way to watch television, and probably the one you remember your grandparents using. You've probably heard this called over-the-air TV, and here's what it actually does. A small antenna pulls broadcast signals out of the air and turns them into channels on your screen. No subscription, no monthly bill, no box to plug in, just local channels, completely free, often in full HD. The benefit is simple. You already own it. If you're paying for channels you get here for free, this fixes that instantly. Here's the catch. You only get local networks, no cable exclusive shows, and how many channels you get depends entirely on how close you live to a broadcast tower. Antenna solved the cost problem, but it couldn't solve variety, and that's exactly what came next. Cable TV, the service most of us grew up with. This solved Antenna's biggest limitation. Instead of a handful of local channels, cable ran a wire straight into your house and gave you hundreds of channels, rain or shine, with no antenna and no static to fight. That's the benefit. Reliability and variety, all in one box. Here's the catch, and you've probably felt this one, the bill. Regional sports fees, broadcast fees, equipment rental charges, all quietly stacked on top of the price you were originally quoted, until your TV bill starts looking like a car payment. Cable solved Antenna's channel problem. It never solved the cost problem. And that gap, paying more every year for something that used to feel affordable, is exactly what opened the door for an alternative that could reach places cable never even tried to go. Satellite TV, built for anyone cable never bothered to reach. Instead of a wire running to your house, a dish on your roof pulls signal down from space, which means it works in rural areas, remote properties, anywhere cable lines simply don't exist. That's the benefit. For decades, if you lived somewhere cable didn't reach, satellite was often your only real option for a full lineup of channels. Here's the catch. Weather can knock your signal out completely during a storm. Installation takes more effort, and the pricing rarely ends up much cheaper than cable. And that's the real problem satellite and cable share. You're still paying for hundreds of channels just to actually watch a handful of them, which is exactly the frustration that pushed people to stop asking what's on and start asking for something completely different. Streaming apps. Netflix, Disney Plus, Max, all of it. This is where TV stopped asking, what's on right now, and started asking, what do you actually want to watch? Pick a show, press play, no channel flipping, no waiting for it to air. That's the benefit. And it felt like a genuine fix for cable and satellite's biggest frustration. Here's the catch. Streaming was supposed to save you money, and instead, media companies split your favorite shows across 5 or 6 separate apps, each with its own $15 bill. The average household now juggles 5 or 6 of these subscriptions, and the total often quietly creeps past what cable used to cost. Streaming solved choice. It never solved the bill. And here's the part most people don't realize. You don't even need a separate device to access any of it anymore. Smart TV. The television itself becomes the streaming device. Every app from the last segment is now built directly into the TV. No extra box, no extra remote, no extra cables to hide behind the stand. Turn it on, and everything is already there. That's the benefit. Total simplicity, one remote, one screen. Here's the catch manufacturers don't advertise. They'll sell you a beautiful screen and quietly install a weak, cheap processor behind it. A few years in, that same TV starts lagging, stops getting updates, and eventually can't run the newest apps at all. It's planned obsolescence, dressed up as just old technology. You've probably owned a TV that slowly stopped working right, and this is usually why. The fix isn't a new television at all. It's something much smaller sitting right next to it. Streaming box. Streaming boxes. Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV. This exists to fix exactly the problem from the last segment. Instead of relying on the weak processor built into your TV, you plug in a small external box with a faster chip and a cleaner interface. It works on almost any TV, even an old one, and instantly makes it feel new again. That's the benefit. Speed and a smart TV experience without buying a new smart TV. Here's the catch. Now you're juggling an extra remote, and cheaper boxes can still lag, overheat, or need restarting more than you'd like. Still, for a lot of people, this quietly solves years of frustration with a sluggish screen. But if you don't even want a box sitting under the TV at all, there's a way to skip that step completely. Casting. This is for anyone who's ever lost the remote in the couch cushions and simply given up looking for it. Instead of a box, your phone becomes the remote and the source. Tap a button, and whatever's playing beams straight over to the TV screen. That's the benefit. No extra device to manage, no new interface to learn. especially if you already do most of your streaming on your phone. Here's the catch. Casting is great when your phone already has the show pulled up, but it isn't really built for browsing hundreds of live channels the way a box or a TV app is. Which raises the real question a lot of people are actually asking. If you've cut every box and every cable, how do you get live television without paying for cable at all? Live TV streaming. Services like YouTube TV, Fubo, and Hulu Live. This solves the exact question from the last segment, giving you many of the same live channels you'd get from cable, sports included, delivered entirely over the internet with no dish and no wire. That's the benefit. Live TV without the cable contract. Here's the catch. And you've probably experienced this one firsthand. Most of these services baited cord cutters in around $35 a month, only to quietly raise prices back up past $80 once cable was already canceled, and switching back felt like a hassle. Convenient, yes. Cheap anymore? Not really. If you'd rather skip a monthly bill altogether, there's a whole category of live television most people don't even realize still exists. Fast channels. Free, ad-supported streaming TV like Pluto, Tubi, and the Roku channel. Here's the strange part. Streaming quietly brought back something cable was supposed to have killed off: channel surfing. These are real, live, scheduled channels running 24 hours a day, built for anyone who just wants something playing in the background while cooking or relaxing, with no decisions required and no bill arriving every month. That's the benefit. No subscription, no login, no setup beyond opening an app on whatever device you already own. Here's the catch. You'll get ads, and you don't get to pick exactly what's playing. The same trade-off as flipping channels always came with. And that's still not the one I said you're probably missing. That one is a little stranger, and it's saved for last. Network tuner. And finally, the one most people have genuinely never heard of. Think of it as your own private mini streaming station, built right inside your house. It's a small box, but instead of sending your antenna signal to one television, it takes local channels out of the air and beams them to your phone, tablet, and every TV in the house at once. No cable box required anywhere. Devices like HD Home Run do exactly this. That's the benefit. Live local TV on every screen without buying a separate antenna for every room. Here's the catch. Setup takes more effort than plugging in a stick, and you're still limited to whatever your antenna can actually pull in. And that's the one most people never think about. Proof that there are a lot more than two ways to watch TV.